Much. I'm so happy. Then all of you, please give all of you a big round of applause. I have to say that to be in a position to give is actually a very big blessing we have. So we should count our blessings to be in a position to give. And so if later, if you still want to give more, please do so. You're always welcome to do so. So right now, hopefully my computer is working. Yeah, okay, wait a while. So okay, right now will be the next segment. Next segment I think is something a lot of you are interested lah. How many of you are interested to know what is the market outlook for the stock market? Please raise your hands. Wow, seems like more people interested in this. Yeah, okay, so sorry, I need to take some time for my computer to set up again. So I think recently what happened is looks like Europe is back in crisis. So Greece, after the people actually got sick and tired of tightening their belt, so they actually voted out the original leadership team. And of course, actually any politician now, if were to promise the people, you don't need to tighten your belt, you can have a better time, will definitely be welcome. But the sad thing is, of course, that is not true. Because the cause of the problem was they overspent. They overspent for many years. They have been spending more than they earn for 20, 30 years. And that's why they are facing the consequences now. So of course, it's impossible. But what happened is, people always want to hope that they don't have to pay for the bill. They just want to eat, and when the bill comes, nobody wants to pay. So same for Greece. So right now the stock market, this is the current, I think as of yesterday night. So this is the US market. So I think it's something all of you very familiar with. The 50-day moving average is the one in blue. 200-day is the one in red, and the moving average 100 days is the one in green. So you can see that very clearly this is the US stock market. The market has pierced through both the 50-day and the 100 days. It's now approaching the 200 days. But of course, anything can happen. For instance, they may announce a QE3, suddenly announce. And if that happens, of course, the market might rebound. But any QE3, in my opinion, is just a painkiller. It doesn't solve the problem. So after the painkiller, the effect go away, the pain will come back again. It will be worse. So this is the Europe market, and the Euro market is worse. So of course, Europe, this one is the FTSE, more of the London Stock Exchange. So this is worse. They has pierced through the 200 days already. So because Europe is in a crisis. So of course, what about China? China also doesn't look good. It was actually approaching, going up to the 200-day moving average. Then it turned down again. So now it's below the 200-day, below the 50 days, and now I think very close to the 100 days. So what about Hong Kong market? Hong Kong market, similarly, it looks bad. So Hong Kong market, please write down. So can you please write down the important support level? For Dow Jones will be 12,600. So clearly yesterday has broken down 12,400 plus. So Dow Jones need to go back to 12,600 soon. Hong Kong market, the important support level is 20,000. So it has also pierced through. It's below the 200 days moving average, which is about 19,700 like that. So Hong Kong need to go back above 20,000 in order for the market to have any hope. Singapore stock market is 2009. So obviously today is even below 2008. So unless it rebounds back above 2009, otherwise any rebound will be quite meaningless. Yeah, okay, so this is the current market. Hey, how come you all look so sad? Then I introduce someone that will make you very happy. A handsome guy, you look at me, sian already. Introduce a handsome guy. So why are you sad? Actually, if the market turns down, wow. So imagine if the market turns down from now 2,800 points, if it drops all the way to 2,000 points, then we'll make like 40%, yes or no? That's provided you can short lah. Yeah, provided you can short, but you cannot short the stock lah. So what you can actually do is you can actually short the index. You can short through a very simple way through CFD. So how many of you have heard of CFD? Please raise your hands. Yeah, so you can short through CFD, and CFD is very convenient. So you can short oil as well. So for instance, if you know that oil was coming down, it went down from $108, now it's like $92, $93. Then if you have shorted oil at $108, you could make money as well. And how can you short oil? You don't go to the petrol station. So again, you can just through CFD as well. So you can also buy silver, gold, for as little as how much? What's the minimum investment amount? The minimum investment amount is $1. $1 of gold, $1 of silver, $1 of oil, $1 of STI index, $1 of Dow Jones index. That's the minimum we are talking about. So without further ado, let us welcome the handsome young man from CMC. Please give your hands and welcome.
Thank you. Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Vincent, so I'm from CMC Markets. So it's a great pleasure for me to be here with all of you. And I would like to thank Mr. Dennis Ng for giving this opportunity to be here once again to share this, our company, CMC Markets, and also our wonderful trading platform, which is called the Next Generation. Okay? So just to begin with, can I just see a show of hands? Who of you have actually heard of CMC Markets before? Wow, so many. Okay, great. Actually, I do see quite a few familiar faces, so I believe some of you are our existing clients as well. So for those of you who are not sure about CMC Markets, we are actually a UK company. So we provide this CFD trading platform for our clients to trade. So CMC Markets was established back in 1989 by our chairman, Mr. Peter Krodas. And we are actually one of the world's leading provider for Forex and CFD trading. Okay? So we are the first company to offer a web-based trading platform for the retail market, and you can trade on the different types of markets. We have equity markets, currencies, and commodity markets as well. All right? So we have invested over $100 million to develop our next generation trading platform. And if you see from this map over here, you will see that we actually have a global presence and mainly centralized in Europe. However, we do have offices in other places like Canada, China, Japan, Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, and so on. Okay, so CMC Markets Singapore itself, we established ourselves over here in Singapore back in 2006. So we've been here for around 6 years. We have established a client base of approximately 15,000 and counting. Okay. All right. So what are CFDs? CFDs are actually contracts for difference. They provide you with similar economic benefits to an investment in an underlying asset without the hassles, costs, and limitations associated with physical ownership. Now, this is This sentence is a bit confusing. So to put it in a very simple terms is that if you trade, let's say, shares in the cash markets, okay? Let's say if you trade with Poems, Vickers, and so on. So if you buy a share at $1 and you sell at 150, so you make a 50 cents profit, right? Okay, so what it means over here is that if you trade on CFDs, it's the same. So you use CFDs to trade on the share counter, you buy at $1 and you sell at 150, you will still make the 50 cents profit as well. Okay. However, if you trade on CFDs, our trading cost is actually lower, and it is more flexible to trade on our, using our platform as well. Okay. So CFDs track the price movement of your chosen instrument, including dividends on shares and interest on positive carry currency positions. So it works the same. If you have traded on a share counter and the company announces a dividend, so although you are trading on CFDs, you will still be entitled to the dividends as well. Okay? But do take note, if you have done a short position and the company announces dividend, so it works the other way around, you have to pay the relevant amount of dividends. Okay? All right. So with CFDs, there are thousands of products for you to trade on our platform. In fact, to be more specific, there's 3,100 plus products on our platform itself. And it is categorized across a selection of different asset classes. So we have currencies. We have 300 over different currency pairs for you to choose. Commodities, like agricultural, precious metals, industrial metals, and energy. This is where you have your gold, silver, crude oil, wheat, corn, and so on. Okay? So global indices, we cover most of the regions, including Hong Kong 43, which is your Hang Seng Index. We have a US 30, which is the Dow Jones, Japan 225, which is the Nikkei. And we also have the China A50, which is the China Index, if you would like to trade. And perhaps the most relevant to all of us is the STI Index. We have that on our platform as well. Okay? So companies, we have global markets for companies. We have US, UK, Germany, France, Japan, Singapore, and so on. So there's actually a big event happening today. I'm not sure if any one of you know about it. There's a big event. Does anybody know? Can you tell me? Yes, that's right. It's a Facebook IPO today. It actually has got a great interest, very wide coverage on it as well. So the great news is that, guess what? We actually have this counter on our platform as well. We have added it inside already. So if you open an account with us today, you can trade on Facebook straight away. Okay? So I'm just curious if, for all of you, who would want to buy Facebook? Please raise your hands. Nobody? Who wants to short Facebook? Okay. Okay, so in the previous two slides, I've addressed the two questions. Who is CMC Markets and what is CFD trading? Okay, so for this slide, I will answer the question of why. Why trade CFDs with CMC Markets? Okay, so you can trade anytime, anywhere. Ours is a web-based trading platform. So anywhere you are around the world, as long as you have an internet connection, you can trade on our platform. Okay, it is also available on iPhone and iPad as well. So what you need to do is just go to the App Store, search for CMC, and download the application, and you can trade from there as well. Okay, so reap profits in both rising and falling markets. So if you trade on cash markets, if you think that a share price is moving up, so you buy today, a few days later, once the share price has gone up, you sell, you make a profit, right? Okay, so how about the other way around? If you think that a share price is moving down, is going to go down, can you short on the cash markets? Yes? No? Okay, so the answer is actually yes, you can. However, you need to be very careful because if you are shorting on the cash markets, right, you need to cover your short position within the day itself. If you do not cover the position within the day, there will actually be penalty charges. Okay? And not only that, let's say if you remember to cover your short position, but you put in the wrong quantity, what will happen? Same thing, you will still get penalized as well. So CMC Markets is a very user-friendly platform. So if you cover back your position with the wrong quantity, we will not penalize you. And if you have any short positions on our platform, there's no time limit as to when you need to close out your position. So you can hold your short position for as long as you like. So automated execution with guaranteed fill. So what it means here is that all your orders on our platform, there's no dealer intervention. It is automatically executed. And if you trade within a specified quantity, it is a guaranteed fill order. Okay, so deal with fractional ownership. This is actually a very interesting feature. So if you trade cash markets, trade on shares, typically you will go in multiples of 1,000 shares, 2,000 shares, and so on. So in CMC Markets, we do not have this restriction. So you can go for odd lots, 1,220 shares, 2,589 shares, or even your lucky number, let's say you want to trade 8,888 shares, also can. Our platform will take in your order, okay? So especially for those of you who are beginners, if you want to trade a smaller amount, you can go for 50 shares, 80 shares, 100 shares, we'll take in your orders as well. Okay, so enhanced analysis with Portfolio Mixer. The Portfolio Mixer is a tool which we have on our platform, whereby you can insert different counters inside, and it will give you a combined portfolio performance. And if you want to, you can also check the individual performances as well. Okay, so customizable leverage. CMC Markets is actually the first CFD platform provider in the industry to offer this very unique feature. Okay, so what it means is that you can trade CFDs on margin. So you use a leverage. For shares, it will be up to 10 times leverage. And if you do not want to trade on any leverage at all, you can pay up the full amount as well. Okay, so what it means here is that we are actually catering to all the short-term traders as well as the long-term investors. And if you want to putting it in another way, we are catering to different people with different types of risk profile as well. So if you are a very high risk taker, you might want to trade with the maximum leverage, and your profits or losses will be amplified accordingly. Okay, so if you are a low risk taker, you're more conservative, so you might want to pay up the full amount, so you don't use any leverage at all. All right? Okay, so manage your risk effectively. On our platform, we actually have different types of orders which you can place. We have market orders, limit orders, take profit, stop loss, and for stop loss, we have regular stop loss and trailing stop as well. All these things will help you with your risk management. Okay, so we have boundary pricing, price alerts as well. Last but not the least, we have consistently competitive prices with no commissions. Okay, this no commissions thing actually applies to index trading, forex trading, and commodities trading. So for shares, we still have commission charges, but it's lower compared to all the platform providers. Okay, so if you trade Singapore shares, for example, the commission charges over here is 0.1%, and there's no minimum charge. Okay, for US shares, if you like to trade on US shares, the commission charges is 2 cents per share. Okay, so for those of you who trade Forex, what we have for our major pairs, Euro USD, USD JPY, AUD USD, our spreads are from 0.7 pips onwards. So it's definitely one of the lowest in the markets. Same thing for indices. So if you trade S&P, we call it the SPX 500, it is 0.3 points. Dow Jones, the US 30, is 0.7 points spread. Okay, for gold, the spread would be 0.3 points. Okay, this slide will show you the daily typical spreads. What is the typical spreads on our FX pairs? And over here, what we have is a comparison of the FX spreads between CMC Markets and our competitor IG Markets. Any one of you here using IG markets to trade? Yes? No? That's good news. Nobody using IG. So support CMC markets and you'll be rewarded with tighter spreads as shown in the slide over here. Okay? Okay, so the last one, if you trade on shares, there's something a bit different on our platform. Okay, just now I mentioned that if you trade Singapore shares, the commission charges is 0.1%. So if you take an example, Genting Singapore, if you look at the share price in the SGX, the sell price is 1.735, buy price 1.74. What you will see on our platform, the sell price is 1.7332, buy is 1.7417. Okay, so that's a 0.1% added inside. So what this means is that once you have executed a trade, there's no way we can charge you the minimum commission. There's no settlement fees, no GST, no clearing fees. All right? So regardless of whether you're trading on 50 shares or 10,000 shares, it will still be the same 0.1% commission. So how to calculate this 0.1% commission? Okay, if you are doing a buy trade, so you take the price on our platform, 1.7417, minus 1.74 divided by 1.74, you will get 0.1. For a sell trade, you take the SGX price, 1.735, minus our price, 1.7332, divide by 1.735, and you will get 0.1% as well. Okay, so this actually works for all the share counters, Singapore share counters on our platform. So if you do this simple calculation, you'll find that all of it comes to 0.1%. Okay, so with that, I've actually come to the end of this presentation. If you would like to open an account with us or if you have any inquiries, myself and my colleagues will be outside. So please do feel free to come and approach us. Okay? Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Vincent. Thank you, Vincent. So, like I mentioned, CMC Market has kindly sponsored the venue. So, if the next session we still want them to sponsor, can some of you, you know what to do, huh? But really, because actually it's good to open accounts with them. I have accounts with them, and as he mentioned, the commission is only 0.1%. So when you invest $1,000, you only pay $10. But if you trade through a stockbroker, $1,000, the minimum is still $25. And also, you can short the market. You can buy, like I mentioned, a specific amount of money. You can say, I only have $50 every month. Then you can invest $50. You can choose the leverage. You can choose to say that I want to borrow money. So when you have leverage, like typically, their standard leverage for shares will be 90%. So for instance, if you buy a share, let's say, Genting $1.60, that means you only need to come out 10%, 16 cents. The rest is borrow. When you borrow from them, margin, what's the interest rate you pay? You pay them 2% plus SIBOR, 3 months. So SIBOR 3 months right now is about 0.4%. So you pay them 2.4%. But this is an annual interest rate. So if you buy today, sell like 1 month later, then you only pay 1 month interest. 1 month interest will be 2.4 divided by 12. So you pay like 0.0 kind of interest rate only. So okay, so tonight I'm going to share with you a lot of universal law. So first, let's get back to science. So how many of you have heard of Newton? Please raise your hands. This is the famous guy who sits under an apple tree. Luckily, he's not Singaporean. Otherwise, he won't find out the Newton's law because he'll be sitting under the durian tree. And he'll be dead. So luckily, he sat under an apple tree. And his first law of motion says that every object in a state of uniform motion tends to remain in that state. So how does that relate to us? Actually, most of us human beings, we tend to stay in the status quo. We tend to repeat doing the same things over and over again. And this is because of our beliefs and habits. So if we have a habit, we just continue on and on. So this is the Newton's first law of motion. So some of you will have lost money in investing. How many of you have lost money in investing? Please raise your hand. Yeah, so this will go on and on and on and on, like the Titanic song. My heart go on and on. Unless an external force is applied to it. So unless after you lost too much money, then you have an awakening, like lost half my wealth. Too painful. Finally, I want to do something, and that is the second law of motion. The second law of motion says that when you want to change, then the relationship will be between mass, acceleration, and applied force. So actually, how fast can you change will depend on how massive is the action taken. So some people take a little bit of action, so the change will be very slow. But you take massive action, and if you do it on an acceleration basis, then the change will be very fast. So the applied force equal F equal mass multiplied by acceleration. So if you want to change your situation, whether it's happiness, whether it's health, whether it's wealth, that depends on how much massive action you take and the acceleration. The next one is the third law of motion. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. I think this is very famous, yes or no? A lot of us always keep reminded of this. So actually, what does this also show to us? It also shows to us is that whatever you give, so shall you receive. Isn't it? Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. How hard I punch, how hard will the force come back? So this is actually called the next one, called cause and effect. So actually every effect has a cause. So how many of you hope that your current financial situation can be better? Please raise your hands. How many of you hope that your current health situation can be better? How many of you hope that your current happiness can be a little bit more happy? Raise your hands. Yeah, so it cannot happen. Because your current situation is an effect. Yes or no? Your current financial condition is an effect. Effect of what? Your past actions and so forth. It's an effect of what? So let's take a look. So you must understand when one event causes another to happen, the cause is the why. The effect is what happens. So you cannot look at what happened, you're not happy about it. How can you change it? Unless you find out why it happened. Unless you find out the cause. Otherwise, nothing will change. Even attending my seminars, you will not become a millionaire unless you realize what is the cause of your current financial situation. So do you want to have more happiness? I think all of you already said yes. So next, your current situation is an effect. To change your future, you need to change the cause. Yes or no? Does it make sense? Does what I say make sense so far? Raise your hands. Yeah, it makes sense. Perfect sense. Next is once you realize this truth, you will stop living life as a victim. A lot of people will say that, they will blame other people because my father not rich because I'm not smart enough. You see, my father not smart enough, that's why give birth to me also not very smart. So my teacher no good my boss no good never give me opportunities The government no good we need to change We need to change to maybe the one with the hammer so that they can hammer the lightning. Yes or no? So you just hope that you want to blame someone out there or something outside. So what are the cause? The cause is actually number one. The root of it is your intention and thoughts. So the very root of everything, if you really think about it, all these are not written. You can write down if you want. I think there are some blank page right behind some of your notes. The beginning of everything is actually your intention and thought. Would you agree? So that is the root cause. So unless you identify a root cause, so maybe the root cause is you do not believe you will be a millionaire. That is the reason why even after attending my seminar, you will not be a millionaire. Not because what I teach you doesn't work. It's because you yourself do not believe it. Your thought is, I will not be a millionaire. I'm just supposed to struggle. So next thing, when you keep thinking a thing over and over again, it becomes your belief. And it depends on your feelings. The more feelings you have, the stronger the belief will be. Yeah, so you need to understand this link between the beliefs and feelings. Next is, then that will affect your decisions. So some people will decide not to attend my graduate gathering seminar anymore. Why? Because they say that I think what Dennis teach doesn't work. But is that true? How true is that? If it doesn't work, then how come Dennis is a multi-millionaire? The fact that I'm a multi-millionaire shows that it works. Why it worked for me, it didn't work for you? Could it be because you have a different thought, you have a different belief, and then you make a different decision? Next. And then, of course, that will lead to your actions. So some of the people are not here in this gathering tonight. Do you know who will lose out? Is it Dennis? Will I lose out in any way? You go and think about it. Why am I doing this tonight? For whose benefit? For my benefit or for your benefit? Whose benefit? If you choose not to attend, who will lose out? Me or you? The person who didn't turn up. So if you know anyone who didn't turn up, please pass this message to them. Because all the seats are supposed to be filled, yes. Because all the tickets were sold out. Yes or no? So next thing is your response to results. So some people, after attending my seminar, still lost money in investment. So it depends on your response. Let me ask you, if you want to learn how to swim, do you need to swallow some water? Yes or no? If you want to learn how to cycle, do you need to fall down first? Yes or no? If you want to make money in investing, do you need to start by losing money? Certainly!